I am not teaching, I am publicly learning. But hi and welcome to Learning for the Lives in the UK Tests Part 233, Architecture Part 4. That's on the page 84, while doing leg injury prevention training. And if you participate in the leg injury prevention training, that is at your own risk. So, why are we repeating? We're repeating a little. So in England there are many houses still standing which were built centuries ago. So in England there's a rich architectural heritage. And for example, Lincoln Cathedral or Canterbury Cathedral or Salisbury, I think it's Salisbury Church, I don't know, or Durham, also Durham Cathedral. These are, for example, buildings from the time, or cathedrals and churches, and also the White Tower in the Tower of London is an example of Norman architecture. Then there also, during the 16th century or so, started it that houses in the land, so not in cities, big churches or castles, were built grander, but also country houses became more wealthy and were built grander. For example, Hardwick Hall in Derbyshire. In the 17th century, there was Indigo Jones, and he took inspiration from classical architecture and then designed Queen's House at Greenwich and the Banqueting House in Whitehall in London. And also Sir Christopher Wren developed a British version of the ornate style in Europe. For example, had he done it at the St. Paul's Cathedral in London. In the 18th century, again, simpler designs than the big ornamental style of Sir Christopher Wren became more popular. And there was the Scottish architect Robert Adams, and he influenced the architectural style in the United Kingdom, in Europe, and in America. And his ideas influenced architects in cities such as Bath, where the Royal Crescent was built. In the 19th century, the Gothic style became again popular, and many buildings were built in that style, for example, the House of Parliament or the St. Pancras Station, or the city halls of Manchester and Sheffield. Then in the 20th century, there was Sir Edwin Lutyens, and he had an influence throughout the whole British Empire. For example, did he design the New Delhi government in India, the seat of the New Delhi government of India, the seat of the government of India in New Delhi. And after the First World War, he was responsible for designing and architecture. Was he responsible for war memorials? For example, the cenotaph in Whitehall in London. The firms of modern British architects continue to work on major projects throughout the world as well as within the UK. So there are firms or companies, so people working together and having that together as a company, and they're doing architecture. And they are working on major projects, so really big houses and so on, throughout the whole world and also in the UK. These include those of the firms of British architects. For example, British architects who have such a firm, who are doing major projects in the UK and in the whole world, are Sir Norman Foster and Lord Richard Rogers and Dame Zaha Hadid. So, for example, 3 architects are here named: Sir Norman Foster, born 1935, Lord Richard Rogers, born 1933, and Dame Zaha Hadid, 1950-2016, are architectures or with companies who are doing major projects in the United Kingdom and the world. Alongside the development of architecture, let's do it after we start the leg injury prevention training. If you participate in it, that is at your own risk. We are warming a little up. We are starting, we're going down, breathing in, and again out. Again in, and out. Again in, out. In, out. We feel the cast next. And out. Now, first exercise, we're going to go standing leg. The other leg is with a flexed foot in the air, and we're swinging one leg to the side and in front, to the side and in front. The foot is flexed, and the toes are pointing more or less the whole time in front. A few more of them. And going over to the other leg. Foot flex, toes pointing forward, and we're swinging at the front and to the side. A few more. And the next exercise, a good standing leg, and the other leg is with a flexed foot in the air, bringing it at front and back. And that I'm doing quite fast. And with the other leg, in front and back. Last ones. And back to architecture. Alongside the development of architecture, garden design and landscaping, alongside the development of architecture, garden design and landscaping have played an important role in the UK. So the development of architecture was an important role in the United Kingdom. But also garden design, so whole garden looks, and landscaping have played an important role. In the 18th century, Lancelot Capability Brown designed the grounds around country houses so that the landscape appeared to be natural with grass, trees and lakes. He often said that the place had capabilities. Later, Gertrude Jekyll often worked with Sir Edwin Lutyens. Somewhere Edwin Lutyens. In the 20th century, Sir Edwin Lutyens had an influence throughout the British Empire. He designed New Delhi to be this. He designed New Delhi. So he designed the whole city. Maybe not how it's today with the extents, I guess it got larger, but he designed the city New Delhi. So that the city New Delhi could be the seat of the government of India. And Gertrude Jekyll worked often with Sir Edmund Lutyens to design colorful gardens around the houses he designed. So Sir Edmund Lutyens was designing some gardens, some houses, and Gertrude Jekyll designed the gardens around houses. So houses with gardens. Gardens continue to be an important part of homes in the UK. So the gardens next to a house is an important part in many houses or many living situations in which people are living in the United Kingdom. The annual Chelsea Flower Show showcases garden design from Britain and around the world. So there happens the Chelsea Flower Show, and in that there are garden designs presented. Some invented and innovated from Britain and also from other countries. At some place there was something said about the something, I don't know the name of it now. Whatever, maybe we'll remember again. So there is the Chelsea Flower Show, where garden designs are presented. So what do we have in that section? So there was Lancelot Brown, also called Lancelot Capability Brown, because he often said that the place had capabilities. I guess that means that this place, I thought it could mean that the place has the capability to become a great landscape. So if grass, trees and lakes are designed in a way to appear natural, but still as it should be architecture. Now it could also be that now after is I don't know. He said the place had capabilities, and it was Lancelot Capability Brown. He designed grounds around country houses. So there's a country house and then there's a big country house, and he designed the grass, how the grass grows, and the trees, where trees stand in, which trees, and also lakes, smaller lakes, with bridges and so on. And then there was Gertrude Jekyll, and she worked together with Sir Edmund Lutyens, someone else who did houses. And for example, did he design New Delhi, and the cenotaph? And she designed then gardens, and gardens are very important in the United Kingdom to houses. And there is the Chelsea Flower Show, which showcases garden designs every year. That was architecture. If you're just here for the rest of the legs injury prevention training, then you're here for the rest of the leg injury prevention training. If not, you can just directly go on to fashion hour, that was the next part. We are having the standing, and we bring one leg up into the right angle with a flex foot, having even aligned hips, so not be too high on one side, and we're having a straight back. We're breathing in, and out we bring the leg to the outside. Breathe again in, and out with the leg back into the middle, and control down. And again in, breathe in, out with the leg to the outside. Breathe again in, out back into the middle, and contract down. And now the other leg. The leg up, right angle of the leg, flex foot, even line hips toward the back, breathe in. Out the leg to the outside. We're breathing in. Out back into the middle, and contract down. And we're breathing again in. The leg into right angle, flex foot, even line hips toward the back. We're breathing out, leg to the outside. We're breathing in. And out the leg back into the middle. And drop down. Next exercise, we bring one leg up. Same setup, and we're pressing a bit from the inside. So right angle with the leg, flex foot, even aligned hips, tall off the back, and we're pressing against the inside. A bit longer. And we're changing the other leg up, right angle with the leg, flex foot, even aligned hips, tall off the back, and we're pressing a bit against the knee. And the last exercise, again the leg up, and now the knee presses up and to the side, up and to the side. We're having a right angle with the leg, a flexed foot, we're having even aligned hips, a tall off with the back, and the knee presses up to the side, up and to the side. And with the other leg, the leg up, and the knee presses up and to the side. And a few last ones, up to the side, up to the side. And now we're doing the closing exercise, breathing in. And out. Out. And the last round, breathe in. Now out. Breathe in, cows for legs. And we're done with the leg injury prevention training. We're having 1.5 minutes. So let's look what was written to George Frederick Handel, I think is the next one, after Henry Purcell, who was the organist in Westminster Abbey, wrote operas and other pieces in church music. And his style is, he developed a British style, which is distinct from other ones, and he influenced British composer. George Frederick Handel was born in Germany, but he lived many years in the United Kingdom and became a British citizen in 1727. He wrote water music for King George I and music for the royal fireworks for his son, George II. So, water music by George Frederick Handel for King George I and music for the royal firework for George II. Both pieces are popular. And Handel wrote also an oratorio, Messiah. So if I ask who wrote Messiah, the oratorio Messiah, it would be George Frederick Handel. And it's often sung at Easter time. Maybe you're going to ask, what piece is often sung at Easter time? By George Frederick Handel, that would be Messiah. So we have to know them all in a triangle. George Frederick Handel, Messiah, Easter time. I thank you very much, and until next time.